You're listening to the 12th Man Podcast, sponsored by Teesside Commercial Cleaning Services and part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
There we go. Good evening. Welcome to the 12th Man Podcast, live on Facebook, on YouTube, and all your popular places to watch and listen to ourselves as the week goes on. You got me, Stevie Jackson. I'm your host for the evening. That's why I've got the bigger picture for now. Make me look all important. But I will go back to a normal screen. There we go. Just to bring my two guests for the evening. Firstly, back first of the season. Sounds a bit weird saying that middle of August, but Mr. John Donovan's back. Evening, John Don.
Now then, glad to be back. Happy new haircut, Steve. You weren't like that on Saturday.
Weren't I? I definitely was.
It seemed long. It seemed longer on Saturday. Oh, okay, then maybe it was me. Yeah. Good to be. It's great to be back. This time last week, I was having my last night in the Spanish sunshine. I screwed up a little. This year, for some reason, the Carabao Cup game was before the start of the season. If it had been part of the normal schedule in midweek last week, I would have been home for it. But anyway, I got a lot of stick off one of the podcasters who's not on tonight, calling me a part-timer. I just had to take it, didn't I?
It wasn't a certain Mr. Nick Waits, was it?
Superfan Nick, had a right go at me.
Superfan, yeah. He's not with us tonight, so you can call him the part-timer, so it's absolutely fine. But good summer?
Yeah, brilliant. Excellent, yeah. I mean, good summer at home. I got myself a week out off work and in the Spanish sunshine, it's just relaxing, beautiful.
All right, don't rub it in, will you? Right, there you go. He's had a good summer. And second, I know he's the ever-present now. He's took over John Don's title. Liam McCall's back with us. Evening, Lemon. Well, he is there. Except you can't hear me. I can hear him, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll come back to him. He'll come back. He'll come back. So yeah, we're going to talk. We'll talk about the first game of the season. We'll talk about he's still messing around with his headphones. We'll talk about the first game of the season, the game against Lincoln. Set out at the Riverside, fantastic day, brilliant, lovely weather, spot on, brilliant. Loved every minute of it. We'll go through the game. We'll go through the stats. We'll go through the key moments of the game. And then we'll talk about Blackburn, our first away game of the season. Ticket prices are a big talking point with that one, so we'll go through that. It's an absolute disgrace, to be honest, when you see them. But we'll have a good chat about them. But before we start, John Don, obviously, I saw you before the game, met up with you, and picked up a nice big bucket. I know what the bucket was for. Thank you so much to everybody that contributed, to scan the QR code that was on there as well. Just talk us through what we were doing on Saturday morning, last Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, well, obviously this season is a massive season for the Borough, celebrating their 150th year anniversary, and the designated match for the full celebration, closest to the date when the club were formed, is the Wolves game on October the 10th. So a few fan groups have got together. We've decided to make a real day of it. And we've seen in the past, not least against Southampton in the playoff game, where we've had the North Stand and the South Stand both put in fantastic displays out there. Looking good, hopefully getting the fans up for the games. But we're going to do it on all four stands for the Wolves game, and that's going to incur quite a cost. We wanted it to be fully fan funded, so that it was us. You know, nobody can take away from the fact that the club have funded it. It's all fan funded, so that's why we had the buckets out on Saturday against Lincoln. 10 people, including yourself, Jacko, asking people for donations towards the fund to raise the costs to do that. So I appreciate your help in it. I mean, after what you have been through last season, it's fantastic to see you back at the games. And, you know, you didn't just come back to the game, you got fully involved with the bucket collection. So I've just got to say thanks for you for that, and for Jade for standing by your side and looking after you. So, yeah, brilliant. So that's what it was for. It was a great afternoon, and we're going to do the count this week. We'll let everybody know the totals raised. But there's other fundraisers planned, so just keep your ears and eyes open on social media.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's it was fantastic. It was brilliant. I say we'll go through, you know, the next fundraising event that's coming up. We'll give you a little bit of a preview once we spoke about the Lincoln game. But I'm hoping, before I speak any further, Lemon can actually hear me now, and someone's not taking his attention. You all right, mate?
Yeah, all good now, yeah.
There we go. See, I was calling you ever present and all sorts. I was bigging you right up. I got saw my phone saying, I can't hear you. So, never mind, it doesn't matter. We were just talking there about the fundraising. How did you find it over by you're the prime spot next to that burger van?
Yeah, it was great. Like, just everyone's generosity. It was great to see everyone backing it, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of people taking part on the day. That's what we like. What John was saying, everything John said. That's what we want. We want everyone to, like, after the celebrations, people sat at home if they didn't make the match but they'd contributed, or if they were there doing part of the display, they can all sit there and say we played a part in the 150th celebration. So it's a great thing.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I say it was brilliant. I say the people I interacted with when they came and kindly donated, it wasn't just coins that I was getting. It was they say there was notes going in, 5s, 10s, 20s. It was fantastic, and it was good to. I mean, there was the more we talk about it, the more the awareness is going to be out there, because a few would just say, "Is it just for the North Stand?" I was like, "No, this is full stadium, full. Everyone's involved, isn't it? It's going to look fantastic in October."
Yeah, it really is.
That's the thing, Steve. You know, I mean, social media gets it out to many, but it doesn't get it out to all. So, yeah, I had a few people asking me what the buckets were for, so I explained it, and they were happy to donate that. But obviously, for whatever reason, they've not seen anything about it on social media. But once they were told about it, they were happy to donate. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely. And before we start talking about the Lincoln game, and then obviously we'll let you know what the fundraising effort comes to when the count's been done, etc. I mean, John Don, you were a sunglasses effort away from looking like the guy on the beach down in Benidorm with the amount of flags and stuff you had for sale. You might call yourself the lucky man. I mean, how many flags did you sell? Because even when I was looking at you sold quite a few.
Yeah. There was a few sold, and I don't know the total because before we went into the match to do the surfer before kickoff, I took them in and left them in the stadium, so I didn't have a count as to how many were sold. But I appreciate everybody who came up and bought the flag, and it's good. It's just getting people involved in ramping up the colour, ramping up the atmosphere, and just making the Riverside Stadium special, and helping the players thrive in the atmosphere.
Exactly. And the first comment we just had was very good, very nice. Hello, chicken nugget. So there you go. Get remembering that when you're selling your flags and stuff. So I love interaction. It's great, isn't it? But before we talk about the Lincoln game, we did have a new signing come out, didn't we? One of the funniest things I've ever seen our social media go through, because they put the pictures out, didn't they, John, of Ashley Phillips, you know, new signing, everything, nice dreadlocks, all things, and he came out looking like I did, and everybody went, "Hang on, where did all his hair go?" And then they covered it up with his hairdresser was on call pretty quickly. they did a pretty good job with that. But the point of all this is Ashley Phillips is over the line. He's signing number. Is it signing number 6 or signing number 8 of the season?
No, it's number 8.
There you go.
It's number 8. I mean, yeah. If you want to, we can go through them later. If you don't, yeah, take it from me. It's number 8. I counted them up, including Jeremy Sarmiento, because he's ours now. Yeah, a fantastic signing. I mean, 19-year-old kid who's got bags of experience already under his belt. Played at Blackburn, moved to Tottenham. Obviously had 2 seasons on loan at Stoke. He's got age on his side. He's got huge potential. He's quick. He's good on the floor. He's excellent in the air. His passing ability is very good. You know, we look like we've got ourselves a player here. You know, if he can continue to progress under Kim Hellberg, yeah, it may sound like a big fee, but again, like these fees, they come with the add-ons, and if we have to pay out the add-on for promotion, nobody in Middlesbrough will mind that, will they?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the phrase John's just used there, Lemon, we've got a hell of a player in our hands. We seem to say that. We said that quite a bit in our season preview, didn't we? The players that we bought, we've done a right good job in recruitment this year, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, this is something I think we mentioned it in the last one that the club's been building to. Like, you see a couple of comments on Facebook, the recruitment's been poor the last few years. This year it's really good. Well, if it had been that poor, we wouldn't be buying the players that we're buying now. So you just got to look at that. But the players that they bring in, like John talked about all his attributes there. Mogger even says he's got all the attributes to be the perfect defender. And you listen to, it was Will Lankshire's interview after the Espanyol game, how he said he'd learned more in a week under Hellberg than he'd learned in his career. You know, this guy we've got leading our club, his football knowledge must be unbelievable. And these young kids, I mean, to see Lankshire's expression and what he's saying, they're thriving off working with him. So it's only going to be good news, isn't it?
Exactly, you're absolutely right. It's I've noticed a few players have said that they're learning quite a bit off Hellberg. And Hellberg's self-confessed study. Is it studier? Can you say that word? Is that a word? It's a word now. Of the game. You know what I mean? So he's learned as he's gone. You know, he's self-confessed and said, "I've not had a brilliant football career, but I've learned being a coach, and you know, he's still learning now. But the knowledge he's passing on is fantastic, and it's brilliant. It's an attractive thing for him to have to bring players into the club as well, which is really good."
Yeah, one thing I'm liking is they're all under the age of 25 or under. They're all fairly big players as well. You know, we're increasing our physicality, our height, and these are players that we've looked at for quite a while, and we've tried to get some of them in the past, but now we've got them through the door. And you look at the starting 11 on Saturday, and then you can add another half dozen players who were just coming back from injury or didn't feature. And it just gives us something which we lacked very much so last season, and that's a depth of squad. You know, we can look to our bench and have real excitement about players coming on from the bench. At times during last season, we couldn't say that.
Exactly, you're absolutely right, and it's a massive positive. But I'm glad you've brought all that up. Obviously, you know, the players been brought off the bench, etc. Because when the lineup came out, John, on Saturday, obviously I was sat there with my bucket, talking to people, you know, saying, you know, how's your summer? You know, the usual crack you usually have with people first game of the season. Team came out. I was a bit dumbstruck by it. There was a few players that were in there that I was like, I didn't expect to see. I mean, yeah, talk us through the team. I didn't expect to see Kante. I didn't expect. It just baffled me. It still does now, to be honest.
Well, I've done a piece for the Gazette, the fans panel, and they asked us to sort of predict the team, and I got 10 out of 11 right. I didn't get Kante, and I didn't see that coming at all. That was absolutely on the blind side for me. But you know, Hellberg's not just going to throw anybody in. He must have impressed. He must have given a reason to put him in the starting 11. And yeah, I think it was a shock for most fans. But you know, throughout the game, he got better and he improved, as the team did as a whole, especially second half. But Kante had a poor start along with a few others, but then improved as the game went on. So you know, if Hellberg's got confidence in him and the player himself can feed off that and improve, he's another addition to our squad that probably most people overlooked when we were thinking about the overall squad size. I don't think many people would have included Kante in their starting 11 or even starting 11 plus subs on the bench. So yeah, it's an extra body for us.
Yeah, apparently the word I was looking for, according to Kev Hopper, is aficionado. There you go. Thank you, Kev. I appreciate it.
Is he a new Italian signing?
Well, he could be. You know, I stick him on the back of a shirt. I suppose we're going to sell it. But there you go, aficionado. Lemon, I'll come to you. What did you make of Kante being included in the starting 11?
Yeah, like I was a bit shocked. I thought he would have just bit the bullet and gone for that per Harris. But I thought he was a little bit sloppy until he had that shot where it went over at the corner, and then after that he kind of started settling down, and his passing got his passing was sound after that. The one thing though with him, I thought he was going to be, when he first came, I thought he was going to be like more defensive, you know, like getting the tackles in and that. And I was a bit disappointed. Maybe he's not that type of player, but because I haven't seen much of him. But I just thought that's what we were missing in the middle of the park. I mean, his passing was nice, and obviously Berholt does that, but we didn't have that enforcer in the middle. And I think had it been maybe a stronger opposition, we might have been overrun a little bit. But he got better as the game went on, which hopefully he's only young, isn't he? So, and like John said, if Hellberg sees something in him and he wants him to stay on, then we've just got to trust Hellberg's decision.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, yeah, it was probably one of the first of a few things I noticed on Saturday. We got better as the game went on, whereas last season we were kind of gun-ho from the beginning and it kind of slowed down towards the end. So I don't know if that's a change towards it. I don't know. But I mean, let's go into the game itself. There's your stats. I know, it's all fancy. John's looking, thinking, Jesus Christ, what's all this? But there's your stats for the game. One thing I looked at straight away was the possession, because we mentioned it last week, that their possession wasn't high in League One, yet they won League One by over 10 points. 24% possession they had. But I would say, John, I thought first half, considering they were a newly promoted team, I thought they were very good. I'm not saying we were brilliant, but I thought they were very good in the first half, and they probably did deserve a first half lead. Yeah,
they were. I mean, they started off with a typical promoted team attitude, you know, and they were absolutely full of it. They were quick out the blocks, that pressed us. We were a bit at 6s and 7s at first, which at the back, which I don't know why, because all four players know each other very well. But maybe it was how quick they were pressing us, how mobile they were in the first half, but it just unsettled us, and we were making mistakes and giving the ball away, and it was inevitable, wasn't it, when the first goal come, as to who the scorer would be. A very well taken goal. He had all the time in the world at the edge of the box. Adam Reach, an absolutely excellent finish from just inside the 18-yard box. But we all knew, didn't we? I mean, I was talking to a group of Lincoln fans on Friday night in the Highfield Hotel. They were staying there. And I didn't even know Adam Reach was playing with them. I thought he was well retired by now. I don't know how old he is actually, but and I said to them, it's going to be one of those players coming back to his old team scenarios, and it turned out to be the case. But anyway, yeah, I think they come out of the blocks at a real pace. They were organised. The pressed us. We were sloppy. We didn't sort of get our act together for quite a while, But towards the middle to the final third of the first half, we started to get a bit more composure, and we looked a little bit better. But we were 1-0 down at that time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And by the way, he's 33. So if he's retiring at 33, there's an issue.
Well, it seems to have been going, I don't know, for about 20 odd years, but maybe that's just me.
No, he's up there with Yakubu, who's 34 next week. So he's no, you're absolutely right. I remember him playing for Bury years ago, Richie, but I think it's because he got brought into the squad at a very young age, wasn't it? So it's probably why we think he's older than he is.
They're both going to Roger Miller's 40th birthday.
I know. Who's there with JJ Koch, who's going to be 35 again, bless him. They're all in the same group, they never age. But let me now come to you. John makes a really good point there. It took us a long time in the first half to get going. But you could probably see by the end of the first half, and we had the chance where the ball went across the goal. I still don't know how Kyle Joseph didn't score. When it passed the keeper, Kirk made a couple of good saves in the first half, but you could just see we got the handle on what kind of team they were, and obviously we'll talk about the second half, but that built into the second half as well, didn't it? Because the momentum just took us straight through.
Yeah, I mean, like John was saying, they came straight at us, and we just had to slow the game down, just calm ourselves down a bit, and then start pushing and turning the screw a little bit, which is what they started doing, didn't they? So,
yeah, you're absolutely right. It's exactly what we did. But before I talk about the two goals, you took a picture with our goal scorer, didn't you? Before the game. Yeah, and what did you put with what caption did you put with when you put that picture out?
I actually said to him, because I've seen him having a picture. I said, any chance of a picture before you become a legend and start today? Right. So, I mean, it was one of them. He's going to score a lot of goals, isn't he? So, me saying something like that wasn't like me predicting he was going to score. But...
I was trying to big him up again there, and you just absolutely just wiped it out.
I mean, their keeper made two great first half saves. The one from Kyle Joseph was just instinctive. He just threw his arm up and it knocked the ball wide. I mean, that could have been a debut goal for Kyle Joseph, but it wasn't a big. But yeah, I mean, we did come a little bit stronger towards the end of the second half, and obviously little changes and words of encouragement at half time made us a far better team, because we never looked. We didn't look unduly troubled in the second half, apart from their offside goal, which we will discuss later. But we didn't look unduly worried. I mean, Vitek didn't have a save to make, did he?
No, didn't make one save all afternoon. So that says everything for me. And you can tell something was said at half time. They say I was sat just chilling out in the sun at half time. And we didn't come out, as players come off the bench, come out, have a little warm up and have a little bit of a mess up. They didn't come out for a good 5-10 minutes in the halftime break. So it was clear that he said, "Get your ass in there." And he had a word. He had very strong words by the looks of it, because we came out in the second half and we just looked on the front foot. They say, I was tilting my head more to the right at the beginning of the first half, but second half, they say I didn't even really look left apart from the offside goal. But we'll go into the goal, they say, because the goal was coming, and we bigged him up in our season preview, John, as a proper number 9. Gets in the box, likes the ball to his feet. And that's exactly what his equaliser was. I mean, the ball across from Castledown was brilliant. So he put the power into it. You say he got, into the mixer, and Lancashire made him sure he was stood on that 6-yard line, and he put the ball in brilliantly, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, before that he'd forced the keeper into another decent save, full stretch. But yeah, the goal, it's just instinct, isn't it? He found himself in the right place. The ball wasn't coming to him originally, but it took a deflection, and he reacted quick, instinctively. One touch, he scored. He didn't try to stop it and walk it in like we've seen in the past. We've always complained about taking too many touches and the opportunity being closed down. To him, it was just a case of, right, I'm there, bang, and that's it. He looks like a natural goal scorer. He finds positions. He shoots on sight. He doesn't over elaborate. He's got a footballer's brain, and that, like I say, was pure instinct, quick reaction, and that put us level.
It did, and it was a well worked goal as well, wasn't it, Lemon? Because the ball was put out to the route from Berhalter, who Britain whipped the ball in, went out to Castledown, he put the ball in the box, and Lancashire was in the right position for it. But the goal was coming because you could just see they were backing off and off and off, and they had 8-9 players parked outside their 18-yard box. For all this low block talk that we talked about last year, saying we can't get through it, we got through it pretty well for that first goal, I would say.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I know they were playing low block at times. I don't think they played it. They weren't as, like, the two lines weren't as tight and stuff. I don't think they were as low blocky as some of the teams we played last year. I think there was a lot more space, but I think Lancashire helps create the space as well, because everyone's drawn to win. We've seen it on the corners, or like last season, the ball will come over. It's just getting headed out all the time. And this time round, like, I think Ailing got on to a header or something. He was behind thingy. They're all attracted to Lancashire because they know he's a big lad, strike there. They've just got their eyes on him, and that's creating space for other players. So that's going to be a plus for us. But yeah, that low block, it's as soon as you see it, it's not nice to watch, is it? Because from last season, but we've got the players' attributes to hopefully get around it this season.
Well, you've also not just got Lancashire. You've got Kyle Joseph working right across the line, very busy, and we've got a player like Berhalter who can find the path to open up. So, like what you said there, Liam, we seem to have improved our options to break teams down. We're not just lumping the ball into the box or running down the line. We're playing through the middle at times, and Kyle Joseph and Lancashire are pulling defenders apart, creating space. I think it's good to see. I mean, it's certainly the makings of a very good partnership, and obviously we've got Conway to come back. We've got Strelic in these days at the club, So yeah, we've got a few more options.
Yeah, I mean, in Lancashire, the one thing I've noticed with him, I've watched him in the 2 games now, it's his movement. It's like, it's not just a case of moving about, it's structured. They've obviously been working on it in training and in his career so far, but he had the defenders all over the place, because if the ball was on the left-hand side, he'd run to the back side of it a bit, of the other side. And if it was on the right-hand side, he'd run over the other side. So he was like sort of the last man when the ball was coming over. And you were watching the centre halves, and they were like this, looking over the shoulder all the time.
Yeah.
They can't concentrate. Yeah. It's just
he's not a lazy.
Simple, but
he's not a lazy striker. He's a busy striker, but he's also got that physicality as well, So he'll give centre halves, all centre halves, a tough game.
Yeah, you both make absolutely spot on points. I mean, I thought that with Joseph as well. I don't. I think Lankshire's got a bit of a step on him, but Joseph did exactly the same. I say when he made his movements out wide to go and get the ball where we're playing the balls at the channels. He had the strength and the physique about him to outmuscle what was going out to him. And, the three at the back they played with the two wing back. At least one or two defenders were getting dragged out, which was creating more and more space inside. Which, to be fair, we didn't notice much in the first half, and I think that's where our struggles were. The second half, we didn't find that there was space in behind the wing backs as they weren't going as back as as they wanted to into a back five. So, but before I talk about the winner, there's one thing I noticed about Lancashire that I absolutely loved. It was when Sarmiento came onto the pitch and he got the ball onto the left-hand side or right-hand side as you guys were looking at it, and you whipped it in and it went to the keeper's hands. Lancashire was screaming at him, which I absolutely loved. Not because, he's creating a problem, because he was screaming, give me the ball. I'm stood in the space where you want to put the ball into. You aim for me, I'm going to get it. He had that confidence about him, didn't he? To say, I'm going to get that ball and I'm going to do something with it. And there was no bitterness about it. It was just, give me the ball. And I absolutely love that.
Yeah, what I like about him is he's upset with himself when things don't go his way. You see some players. I won't say that they're not bothered, but he clearly gets really bothered. He's so demonstrative when he's when he makes a run and the ball doesn't come. He wants to be involved in everything, and he's an intelligent player. He started really well with 3 goals in the 2 competitive games we've had. And if we can just get partnerships going, we can get understandings going and connections within the team. It could be a very, very good signing for us. You've got to think of just under half of the team were making their league debuts, weren't they? So things will improve, things will gel, players will get to understanding. I know that's what pre-season is for, but it's totally different in a competitive atmosphere. I'm hoping, that as the season progresses, as the players get to know each other, these connections, these understandings will just improve.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and I think it's going to get better and better as the season goes on, because you say you saw it in the game, you saw it throughout the second half. It was just the passes were becoming more fluid and more easy, and everybody knew where everybody was going to be, and the character of the team. If this team, part of this team's brand new, we've got brand new players in there. I mean, that was Vitek's first game, but he understood where every run was going to be made when he was distributing the ball out. He knew exactly where his defenders were going to be. There was no big disagreements. The players up front linked with each other really well. They say Joseph and Lancashire, brand new partnership, and the balls were going into the box. We knew exactly we had 2 target men in the box, and we put the ball in the box to him. How many times last year did we all sit there and stand there and think, why are we not putting the ball in the box? Why are we not shooting? Why are we not creating the chances that we should be? And after one game, you think, well, actually, there's a bit of change here. It's like there's a bit of something's different, and I loved it. It was just superb.
I mean, in the past, you're right. I mean, in the past, we've looked at the end of game stats, and we've had about 2 or 3 shots with 1 on target. 23 shots, I think it was on Saturday.
Yeah.
23 shots, 7 on target. The keeper was called to make 3 good saves, 3 very good saves. And that's what fans want to see, because if you're not getting shots on target, then obviously you're not going to score. But it augurs well for improvement throughout the season.
Exactly, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see. And then I just texted nicely, Lemon, on our winner. We talked about the players we brought off the bench, or we could bring off the bench. One of them was one we all love, Ryan McGree. His injury record isn't great, and that's why he's probably not had the run in the team as he should, and he hasn't developed as much as he should because of that. But the cleverness of his little jinking side on the right-hand side to bring the ball into the blocks, and then it just emphasises what we were saying about Lancashire. He got into the right place, he knew where the ball was going to be, and just had that killer instinct to put the ball past the keeper and score that winner and send the North Stand absolutely potty along with the rest of the stadium. It was just brilliant, and you just thought, yeah, we're back.
Yeah, Riley McGree's class. Riley McGree, imagine any other championship team would want Riley McGree coming off the bench. Like, he'd get in any team. He'd get in a lot of the first teams as well. And if it wasn't for his injuries, he probably wouldn't be playing for us anymore. But he's fantastic, and you just pray that he can get a run of a few months rather than a few weeks together, because he's fantastic, and he can make, when he's on song, he makes us click. But it really clever little jig there and turning back and forth and then just knocking it across. And like you say, Lancashire, striker's instinct, poacher's instinct. He's there, and it's in the back of the net. So fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, McGree's quality and his influence when he plays is it's clear to see. You know, we've just all been, everybody, and no doubt staff at the club have been as frustrated as all those fans as to the number of games he misses due to minor injuries. You know, and it's not as if it's the same injury over and over again. It just seems to be little minor niggling injuries that stops a run of 5, 6, 7 games on the bounce. You know, we hope that this season we can see him, you know, play more games than he misses, because he's such an influence. He's such a good player, and with the forward line that we have, the ones that started on Saturday and the ones that we could introduce from the bench, it could make a hell of a difference. So we've got to keep him fit.
Yeah, I'll ask both of you this question. Obviously, we know what McGree's injury record's like, and there's going to be so much more choice for Helber to have this year. And, you know, players you can bring in, keep out, put on the bench, etc. Do you think, I'll start with you, John, I'll come to you, Lemon. I know your answer's going to be pretty much the same, but, you know, I like to give fairness. Do you think the amount of choice we've got is going to benefit Riley McGree more going forward? Because we're not having to rely on him, you know, playing 6, 7, 8, 9 games in a row. You know, you can have that bit of a break, you know, play 3 games, you know, maybe put him on the bench, put him back in, because of the amount of variety and quality we've now got.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. A bigger squad, not just in numbers but in quality, means that you can give players the break that they need. I mean, the medical staff, the measure the strain on the muscles, they can almost tell when a player needs a rest. They can say when a player needs to move away from the first team, because if not, it'll cause an injury. So yeah, having a better quality squad, so that we can replace him and give him a rest, but still maintain a good starting 11 capable of winning games. Yeah, it's only going to help McGree. So I hope that is the case.
Lemon, come to you.
Yeah, like just what John said there. I think we've seen in the past with when Carrick was here, he'd rarely make subs, or they'd be left really late, and there was a lot of injuries for the last 2 seasons. Carrick was here. You don't know if maybe that's played a part in it, but having the depth of quality, it's not just having the depth of the squad, because, you know, if the players who are coming out aren't good enough, it's not going to really help. But we're actually getting to the point now. We're building this squad up. So you look at that team that played on Saturday. If you could pick your starting 11, if everyone was fit, there'd be a few of them that probably wouldn't start. But that was their first game playing together as an 11. You know, a couple of months down the line, that sort of team could be looking after the team while players are out, and could be doing the business because of the quality that we've got in depth. And it'll be a massive thing for managing the minutes that Riley gets as well. I think it'll benefit all the players, the standard of quality that we've got as backup.
Yeah. Absolutely right.
Good to see Alfie Jones back as well. You know, I know he didn't get long, but they're obviously pleased with his level of fitness that he can come on towards the end. So, you know, he was another outstanding player for us last season before his injury. So yeah, it just adds to the depth of the squad that we've got, and rotation will hopefully help players avoid injuries, you know, like we've seen in previous years.
Absolutely
because our style of football is very intense. You know, it takes a lot out of the players. That's why we need a good squad. It will be, like I say, a squad sort of thing this season. It's not just going to be an 11. It's going to be a squad thing.
Yeah, absolutely right. And you look at the first substitutions we did make. It was literally just a minute after obviously the equaliser came out, but we made 3 of them straight away. You know, and the quality we brought on. We were superb. When you bring on players like Peter Harris, you know, it was his debut on Saturday as well, and he fitted into midfield perfectly. I thought I was a bit confused by the position he took up because he went a bit further back than I thought he would, but I could see he was looking at where the passes wanted to go and where the ball needs to be, and he was impeccable. I thought he was brilliant. He's a strong, physical lad. We've brought that into the squad as well. So, yeah, it was fantastic to watch. It was brilliant. Mm-hmm. And everyone loves a 91st minute winner as well. And the place went absolutely nutty. And it was just a great way to start the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, you love an injury time winner. There's nothing better, you know. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And you mentioned Pert Harris there, and he nearly got himself on the score sheet. He just hooked one a little bit high when Lancashire hit the post, but we all thought it was going to be 1-1, and then Magressy, I'll call him, because he played like Messi at times, McGree, so I'll call him Magressy. He spun round, dummied me twice, and put the ball in. Lancashire, in the right place, first touch, put it away, and like I say, the stadium erupted. Fantastic, loved it, absolutely. Overall, I think we deserved the win. Congratulations to Lincoln, they made us work hard, but overall, I think we deserved the win, and nothing better than winning in front of a full house on the opening day of the season. Brilliant.
Absolutely right. And we spoke about Lincoln last week, saying, you know, they were very successful with very low possession percentage, and they just showed that on Saturday. And they'll prove to be a problem for quite a few teams in this league, especially when they go back to Sincil Bank. I think they're going to be a real problem for teams. So, you know, good luck to them going forward. They'll do all right. They'll do all right. Right, man of the match, quickly from the pairs. I'll start with you, Lemon. Your man of the match for Saturday.
Not even thinking about it. Lancashire, 100%, head and shoulders above anyone on that pitch. Yeah, Will Lancashire.
There you go. John, done same for you?
Yeah, Lancashire. I mean, obviously his goals, but also I love his attitude. I love his work rate. You know, and I love he's not cocky, but he's got like a bit of he's a cheeky chappy, isn't he? You know, and I loved it when he celebrated with the fans. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so Lancashire for me.
Yeah, I did as well. He's got an aura about him, hasn't he? He's very self-confident. He knows what he can bring to the table, and you could just tell when he scored that winner and just shot his arms out like, yeah, me, I did that, me. Yeah. That's what I want from number 9.
I loved his post-match interview as well. You know, he's quite clever. He's articulate, and he clearly wants to do well, not just for himself, but for his teammates, for the fans. He spoke really, really well. You know, he said, "I think I found my place here." You know, so that's great. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, I love that.
I think he's a proper down-to-earth lad. I seen an interview about, or might have read it. It was talking about his brother. His brother plays for Gateshead. Incidentally, he scored on his debut as well on Saturday. He's a left back, and he was just talking about how his brother's career, how that's going, and how he's supporting him, and he hopes to make a home for his brother here. Like so he's obviously supporting his brother a bit as well, and about how his mum and dad split up, and not split up, but like one went to watch one son and one went to watch the other. He just seems very grounded and quite mature for his age as well.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I mean, I didn't think we'd be talking about potential divorces on here, but yeah, there we go. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I'll make a hat trick. Thanks, he was my man of the match. He looks a step up, doesn't he? He just looks. We were missing something last year. We all knew what it was. We all needed someone to put the ball in the back of the net, and the fact we've got someone that scored 3 and 2 straight away, perfect. Can't think of anything better. Right. Before we talk about Blackburn and the ticket price, etc., I'll hand over to you, John Don, because the next part of our fundraising for the big 150th anniversary in October is in 2 weeks' time, just after the West Brom game. If you want to talk us through it.
Yeah, that's right. 29th of August, we play West Brom at home, 12:30 kick-off.
Yeah.
So there's a fundraising night being organised at the Dormans. I know Liam's put a lot of work into this to pull it off, as have lads from the Red Faction. So yeah, it's going to be a night of music, DJ, live music, DJ, raffles, anything that we can think of that will help raise money. Obviously, ticket sales will go towards that. There's 300 tickets available for the room in the Dormans. I know sales have already started and they're going well. So yeah, keep an eye on the socials, Facebook, on Twitter, for details of the fundraising night and how you can buy your ticket. Listen, if you want to buy a ticket to donate £5 but not go, then brilliant, do that. It still means that the fund is being increased with your donation. But please get a ticket, come along, have a good night. Every Borough fan who's there wants the club to do well, wants to celebrate the club's 150th anniversary by putting on a spectacular display of all 4 stands at the Riverside Stadium. Get yourselves along.
Absolutely, and like John said there, Lemon, you put a lot of hard work into this, and it's going to be a fantastic night as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be great. You can't beat a bit of live music, a couple of pints after the Borough winning at home, can you? So yeah, it'll be a great, and there's some really good stuff for the raffle as well. We're going to have signed shirts, balls, all sorts. We've got all sorts going, so get involved.
Yeah, exactly. That's footballs, by the way. We're not just putting balls on display for you. It's not that kind of night. But yeah,
Adam Clayton's not turning up.
Exactly. Although if I suppose we dropped him a message, you might. But yes,
he might do.
Get involved. Get involved. Get yourself down there. Say 300 tickets. They'll all fly out. Say the room will be absolutely packed. Everyone's exactly the same. Everyone's going to be pretty much a Borough fan in there. They're going to have, everybody likes a good drink in there. It's going to be a good laugh. It's going to be a good night. Yeah, it's a nice way to start your bank holiday weekend as well. So what else can you ask for? Right, Blackburn away, first away game of the season. Usually you start this, John, by saying you look forward to Blackburn away. It's usually 7,500 goal. It's going to be it's mega, and there's still going to be a fair few Borough fans going. I say we're over the 5,000 mark now, but the big talking bite about what's been going on is the ticket prices. They say the final blocks have been released in the upper tier, but they say the first tickets for 30. I mean, this is including booking fee, which is only £1.50, so it's not exactly adding £1 million on. £36.50 to £41.50. For adults. I mean, even kids are getting charged over 20, over 25 quid to get in. That's absolutely ridiculous for a second tier game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really. I mean, I put a tweet out that you could have got a ticket for the playoff final at Wembley cheaper than the £41.50 that Blackburn Rovers are asking for the upper tier of the Darwin. And yeah, it's, you know, we all want to go and watch our club. You know, and I know there's some fans saying, don't go, don't pay the ticket price. But we all want our club to do well, and we feel that our support on the day will help them achieve the right result. You can still hurt the Blackburn by not buying anything on the concourse. I know we all like a drink, yeah, but you've already paid 41 quid if you're in the upper tier centre blocks of the Darwin stand. So just for the sake of 90 minutes or at half time, just don't buy a beer. So you're saving yourself 5 or 6 quid there. So that knocks the price of your ticket down, and hopefully might send a message to the Blackburn Rovers hierarchy. I very much doubt it, but it's a small protest, but it's something you can do. I know I won't be buying anything, food or drink, on Saturday in the ground. I'll make sure that I have my drinks outside, and then I won't be having anything in the ground because, like I said, I got my tickets in the lower tier, so they're a little bit cheaper. But it's still far too much to ask for a championship game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, John's absolutely right. Is it? I mean, John sold, you know, his bus out. You know, that's got a full bus. You've got full buses going, but it's not the point, is it? You know, people saying just don't go. It's not as easy as that. When you've got, you know, a passion and a love for something that you love doing, it's really hard to say I'm going to back away and not do it. I mean, I'm absolutely, well, as you can see, I'm tearing my hair out not being able to go. You know, I'd love to be going to Blackburn on Saturday. I really would. But, you know, life happens. You know, there's things I've got to overcome first before I get back to where I was, being that daft lad at the back of a bus drinking a bottle of Jaeger, thinking I'm clever. But, you know, that day will come. I can see on John's face, it's like, just the one. Yeah, just the one. But what John said, though, Lemon, he's absolutely right, though, isn't he? The ticket price is ridiculous. Is it time that a price cap came in now?
Yeah, it's long overdue. I mean, like John said, people say don't go. Like, you can't not go. Do you know what I mean? When you want a fully team, especially at the moment anyway, when it's so good. But well, you should be there either way. But it's I can't understand why it's not been brought in yet. I mean, you've got the Premier League there; they play less games, but we've got like more games. We have 4 more away games in them. And we haven't even got a cap. If anything, we should be cheaper than the Premier League because of the money that, like, the likes of, there's a lot of us who do like every away game, and it's a lot of money. Like over the course of the season, it's a lot of money. I mean, if we're in a position to keep paying it, we're going to keep paying it, but we shouldn't have to. I think it's an absolute joke. Some of the prices, but then the thing is, you'll go to a couple of grounds, and they're fantastic pricing. I mean, the prices there. I know it's only a cup game against Doncaster. It's about 16 quid a ticket. Do you know what I mean? Blackburn are just getting greedy because they know the likes of Middlesbrough and other clubs, they go and they fill that end. And last season, they had fans like staying away and not spending money and stuff. And they're thinking, we'll make a fortune off this lot. You know, they'll fill that end and we'll make all this money. And it's shocking. It shouldn't be like that. There should definitely be a cap on it. Hopefully, something will be done soon about it.
Well, I think that's what. Well, a lot of fans have said that, haven't they? They've said it's going to be. I mean, Blackburn's fans have said you're paying for our pitch now. You know, we know that away fans will turn up because it's a dead easy day to get to, which it is. It's at the top, it's at the bottom end of Darwin. It's just off the M65. It's dead easy to get to. There's pubs all the way down along to the ground for people to pop into. But like you say, that's not the point, though, is it? You know. It all goes back to that saying that came out years ago that kind of disappears, but you all want back. 20 is plenty, and that's how it should be for me. You know, yes, things have gone up, but even if you say 25 quid to every ground, I can't see where there's going to be a grumble from fans. If you're paying 25 quid to watch Championship football, you're not going to grumble, are you?
Well, you've got to take into account the amount of money that's spent on travel. Do you know what I mean? Like some of these prices, it's not cheap. If you're doing a trip to Southampton, you're talking 45, 50 quid for your travel on a coach, and then you've got a ticket of like 30 quid. There's 80 quid before you've even entered the stadium. You know, that should be kind of looked at, really.
Exactly.
Well, thankfully, Liam, you and me and others, give coach travel at a reasonable cost. There are some coach firms who are charging, for example, Southampton, far too much, in my opinion. But that's for them. But yeah, the price increase of Blackburn's ticket this season from last is 24%. I mean, that's disgraceful. It's a shocking increase. 24% is, and they've got away with it, And yeah, I know people are listening to this and say, well, don't go. I'd love to not go, but you know what? My heart is in, and it has been for decades, in following my team. Yes, there will be a certain threshold when I think, now this is ridiculous. But I paid 38 or 39 for Blackburn. That threshold for me hasn't been reached yet. But there's got to be a discussion about capping championship match tickets like there has in the Premier League. I know there's a lot more money in the Premier League, but there's still enough money to agree amongst the championship clubs to cap away ticket pricing.
Exactly, and like you say, I know there's a lot more money in the Premier League, etc. But if all them billionaire owners, etc., can come round the table and sit together and agree that £30 is enough for an away ticket, then I can't see why all 24 championship owners and boards can't sit and say, you know what, if they're 30, let's put ours at 25. Leave it there. And it makes atmospheres better. I mean, Lincoln brought full allocation to the Riverside on Saturday, and it was fantastic. Made a lot of noise. Made the atmosphere even better because the home crowd was up for it. They were up for it. The whole place was just bouncing. There's nothing worse than being sat in a home end and you look at the away end and there's 200-300 people there and you think, yes, probably it's the distance it's taking them away from it, but it's probably also the price. Let's make it more affordable for everyone to go and just fill the grounds up. Well,
our pricing for away fans isn't the best. I think we could do something on that, and it's something that the 12th man will take to the club and get their thoughts on it, and they'll get ours, and we'll try and sort of let them know that the depth of feeling of away ticket prices.
Exactly.
Will we get any joy? Who knows? But they're going to find out how the fans feel. That's sure.
Exactly. But yeah, we will try. We'll absolutely try. We'll give it a go. And if we've got anything to report back, I'll let you guys know. Then we'll obviously do that. But into the game itself, obviously, I watched Blackburn Friday night against Wolves. I say they probably had the toughest start in the Championship. Wolves away, Middlesbrough at home, but they were a typical Mogger side, John, in ways that they were scrappy, stuck in there, and when the chances came, they took them. And it was, I'm not saying Wolves were brilliant, but I thought Blackburn were robbed, quite honestly. There was never a penalty in the last minute, but they held their own against one of the Championship promotion favourites, and they did really well.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they fell behind to a very well taken goal from Wolves, and the stadium were behind the team. The Wolves were one of the favourites for promotion, but it didn't faze Blackburn. Like you said, typical Mogger side. They dug in, they never gave up, and got themselves back into it. A well taken goal, and then took the lead early in the second half, only to be robbed Yeah, you can use that word. They were robbed. That was never a penalty in the box, in my opinion. I've seen it half a dozen times on Friday night, and I've seen it since. How the referee can be certain that that was inside the box is beyond me. But anyway, Wolves got away with it, got a point out of the game. But yeah, Blackburn will be tough on Saturday.
It will be tough, and it tells you if your self-confessed Wolves fan Don Goodman sits there and says, "I don't think that's a penalty," you know it's not a penalty because he's as one side as it gets. And he was, it just wasn't. It was unlucky for Mogga, and Mogga let him know in the press afterwards, so you know he'd probably get a fine for that. But Borough-wise, Lemon, is it just a case of pick up where we left off, carry on, and then just bring in the new players slowly but surely? I say there's no rush to bring them all in at once now, is there?
No, I mean, I think you don't want too many of them in at one time anyway. You need to build that team chemistry. But the issues we've got is that there's a few of them are coming back from injury. So the lads at the club will know more than we do, but it's all about managing minutes and not bringing them back too quick. And yeah, I mean, we'd all love Morris back in there and whoever else, Phillips starting at the back or Jones or whatever. But we've just got to trust Hellberg and the medical staff and whoever else that they're going to build up to it. But it's going to be a tough game on Saturday.
Yeah, always is. Going to Ewood Park, we all know what it's like going there. It's not been the most popular last couple of years, so we say hopefully we can get over that and we can push ourselves on and we can kick on from a great start. So that with that being said, gentlemen, I'll come to you, John, first. Your first prediction of the season, make it a good one.
3-1 to Middlesbrough.
Goal scorer?
Kyle Joseph.
Okay, there you go. It's gone for our other number 9, which is fair enough. Lemon, come to you.
I think it's going to be a really tough game, but I backed them, didn't I, to finish in the top 2, so it's got to be a win for the Borough. I think it'll be hard fought, another 2-1. I think Berholt will score for us.
Okay. Yeah, you can't go back on what you said. It's out there for the world to see. So, I didn't mean to offend him, but anyway, he's just turning his screen off. But I think 2-0, early goal, late goal, and you know what? I'm probably going to say Lancashire. I think Lancashire, now he's got 2 in a row. He's just going to keep going and keep going. Oh, he's back now. He must have. Oh, he's gone again. So yeah, 2-0. Will Lancashire. Hopefully, we do better for charity this week and pretty much this year than we have. But yeah, there you go. There's our podcast done for the week. Because he's back, I'll say it before he disappears. Liam, thank you very much for popping on. As usual, I'll speak to you during the week. John, great return back. Well done. Top marks. Enjoy your week. I'll talk to you through the week.
No problem.
And to you lovely people for liking, subscribing, commenting, watching, listening. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again next Monday, where we'll hopefully be reviewing another 3 points for the Borough, and we'll talk you through our second round cup game against Doncaster and the West Brom game. And yeah, we'll talk to you then. Arrivederci, up the Borough. Be seeing you. Take care.
Up the Borough.